In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 celebrities with tax problems. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Number 10. Willie Nelson. The IRS assessed the late country music icon Willie Nelson a $32 million debt for unpaid taxes in 1990. He still lacked the funds to pay his debt, which had been reduced by the government by about $15 million, bringing the total amount to $17 million. He was thus left with a $15 million tax debt after the IRS took practically all of his possessions. The IRS came up with a novel strategy to get their money and permitted Nelson to record the album Wool by My Memories? The IRS tapes, in order to raise money. In order to pay off his debt, Nelson was need to sell 4 million copies of the album. Nelson was able to settle his tax debt in 1993. Number 9. Fat Joe. Joseph Cartagena, best known by his stage name Fat Joe, brought himself up in August 2013 to begin serving a 4-month term for tax evasion. In order to avoid paying over $1 million in taxes between 2007 and 2008, Fat Joe entered a guilty plea in December 2012. On Thanksgiving Day, the rapper was granted early release in exchange for a $15,000 fine and a year of monitoring. Number 8. Lauryn Hill. After failing to pay more than $1 million in taxes over a 10-year period, Lauryn Hill was sentenced to 3 months in prison for tax evasion in 2013. In June 2012, the musician entered a plea of guilty to the charges and admitted owing taxes on $1.8 million in earnings between 2005 and 2007. Unpaid state and federal taxes from 2008 and 2009 were also included in her 3-month sentence, bringing her overall tax obligation to over $2.3 million. The judge was informed by the former member of the band The Fugees that she had planned to pay her tax debt eventually but was unable to do so since she had lost her job in the music industry. In the end, Hill received an early release from prison and a 1-year probationary sentence that included 3 months of house arrest. Hill's tax problems, however, were not yet over as, over 6 months later, she was served with 7 tax liens, totaling around $867,000. These liens ranged from 2005 to 2011. Number 7. Leona Helmsley. The millionaire hotel mogul, whose haughty demeanor earned her the moniker the Queen of Mean, was found guilty in 1988 of omitting to pay $1.2 million in taxes. Leona Helmsley served a total of 21 months of her 4-year prison term and 750 hours of community service. The judge increased Helmsley's community service requirement by 150 hours after learning that she had hired someone to carry out some of her tasks. According to a famous Helmsley remark, only little people pay taxes. Number 6. Teresa and Joe Giudice. 39 counts of tax and fraud offenses were brought against Teresa and Joe Giudice in a July 2013 indictment. Joe was accused of not filing tax returns from 2004 to 2008, a 4-year period in which he made a total of $1 million, among a number of other things. The Real Housewives of New Jersey celebrities were charged with 2 further offenses in November 2013, a few months later. Teresa lied under oath about her income from other business operations and refused to disclose her whole compensation from the popular Bravo reality show. Joe also lied under oath about not filing his tax returns, just like his wife did. When the Giudices were prosecuted in the summer of 2013, they first entered a not guilty plea. However, in March 2014, they altered their plea to guilty. Joe admitted guilt to 5 counts, including failing to file his tax returns, while Teresa admitted guilt to a total of 4 counts. Joe received a sentence of 41 months in prison while Teresa received 15 months in jail in October 2015, according to U.S. District Court Judge Esther Salas. The pair was sentenced to make reparations totaling $414,588. To ensure that at least one parent was present at home for their 4 young girls, Judge Salas permitted the couple to stagger their sentences. The first day of Teresa's imprisonment was January 5, 2015, and she was released on January 11, 2016. Number 5. Dolce and Gabbana. Before they were finally acquitted in October 2014, designers Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana were caught up in a tax nightmare that began in 2007. The two were found guilty in June 2013 of neglecting to submit tax filings for their Italian company. As a result of the firm's major brands being sold to Luxembourg-based Gado in 2004, prosecutors asserted that the designers owed the company a total of $50.7 million for the years 2004 and 2005. Prior to the top court's decision, two lower courts had found the high-end designers guilty of tax evasion and had sentenced them to 18-month prison terms. The two were accused of running a sophisticated tax fraud enterprise by using Gado as a front to evade paying taxes, and prosecutors had been pressing for 3-year prison terms. In an unexpected turn of events, a different prosecutor contended that Gado was in reality a real business during a March 2014 appeal. Number 4. Joe Francis. In 2009, the creator of Girls Gone Wild was found guilty of tax evasion. Joe Francis admitted to filing false tax returns, concealing interest income of $500,000, and offering up to $5,000 in products in exchange for food to jail staff. Francis was mandated to provide the IRS about $250,000 in restitution. He received a term of probation for 1 year and 301 days already served. Number 3. Heidi Fleisch. The former Hollywood madam received a 37-month prison term in 1997 for tax fraud and money laundering. The maximum prescribed punishment of 78 to 97 months was not given to Heidi Fleisch. Instead, the judge gave her a sentence that was substantially shorter. After serving 20 months in jail, Fleisch was allowed to finish her sentence in a halfway house. Her sentence also included a $400 fine, 3 years of supervised release, 300 hours of community service, and the requirement that she undergo a drug rehab program. Number 2. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage failed to pay his IRS taxes in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2007, and 2008, resulting in a $13.3 million tax burden. The actor said that his former business manager was unaware of the incident and took responsibility for it. In a statement to TMZ, Cage claimed that he has paid at least $70 million in taxes over the course of his career. Unfortunately, another around $14 million is outstanding to the IRS as a result of a recent legal crisis, but I am pleased to report that I am current for 2009 under new business management. All taxes, including any future state taxes, will be paid. The federal government put a tax lien on the actor's real estate interests at the end of 2008. Cage paid $6.25 million in April 2012 and another $600,000 in November 2012 to settle his tax arrears, although he apparently still owes more. Number 1. Stephen Baldwin. Actor Stephen Baldwin entered a guilty plea in March 2013 for failing to pay $400,000 in New York State income taxes in 2008, 2009, and 2010. Baldwin was given a year to repay the bill in full after narrowly avoiding going to jail. His record would be cleared if he paid off his debt. According to Baldwin, he never intended to forego paying taxes and that he received bad legal and financial advice. Before the deadline, he was able to pay off his loan completely. Baldwin's tax issues continued after this, though. He once more owes $90,000 in past taxes, this time $30,000 to New York and $60,000 to the federal government, according to a September 2015 TMZ article. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.